Hi guys, I'm making this video for all those people who are planning to migrate to Canada on PR visa, especially from Europe on Middle East, and they want to come here to Canada, they want to settle down here, they want to find good jobs here. So, having moved from Canada from Pakistan in February 2023, what pieces of advice do I have to offer you as your brother? First of all, please give this video a thumbs up because you will find extremely important and valuable content in it. So, first things first. See, you'll come to Canada, you will need to find job because no matter how rich you are, Canada has become so expensive that as long as you don't work here, you don't earn income on a regular basis, you cannot survive in this country. This is not the Canada of the yesteryears. This Canada has changed tremendously. Everything has gone up in price, from the prices of houses to cars to groceries to the utility bills to rents. Everything has gone up, literally everything, you name it. So come prepared, and the first and the foremost advice that I would like to give you is try to come to Canada with a job in hand. And yes, this is very much doable. I also used to think that in Canada there is this chicken and egg scenario where you cannot find work unless you have Canadian experience, and you cannot gain a Canadian experience unless you have work. This is just a myth, and it broke, it shattered when I did my own market research here. Not only do Canadian recruiters value all your experience that you've gained outside Canada, but it is also extremely doable to fetch a job in Canada from your own countries. Many people are doing this. I know plenty of examples who have got jobs while they were in Middle East or they were in Europe, somewhere in Pakistan, and they secured jobs in Canada and directly they started doing work here because they knew what was the right format of the resume, how to make the cover letter, how to project their skills, and most importantly, they had connections in the industry, serving in the right sports, and they knew the vacancies and they referred them. And everything in Canada depends upon networking. Networking is extremely important in Canada. So rather than being deluded by these myths that your international experience does not count, or you cannot find a job in Canada unless you get here physically, start looking for jobs. If you need help with resume, you may even contact me. My number is in the description below. Just WhatsApp me, and it takes me some time to respond, but eventually I do. You can also take my assistance in this regard or guidance. But do prepare yourself. Try to secure a job in Canada before you even come here. This process starts way earlier than you actually think. Secondly, uh, immediately go for a driver's license when you come to Canada. In fact, you can prepare for your G1 driving license back home. There's plenty of content available on YouTube, online. Uh, Go through it, prepare for the G1 test, and you should be done with the G1 test the very first week you land in Canada. And instantly, obviously, get the date for G or G2 test, wherever suits you, and do prepare for it. And meaning, what I mean to imply here is that driving license is important for you as well as your spouse, for every adult that comes to Canada. So immediately go for this without wasting time, because even if you find jobs, you will not be able to go to the jobs unless you have cars, and you won't be able to drive cars obviously unless you've got the driver's licenses. So your job search starts way before you actually land in Canada. Your driver's license journey starts before coming to Canada. Now, what to bring to Canada with you? absolutely no need to pack your clothes. Just come with 2 to 3 pairs of clothes. There's plenty of clothes available in Canada, and that too at extremely low prices, lower prices than you'd find similar clothes elsewhere in the world. There are plenty of options. There are such stores where you will find the very good clothes at half the price at what you are buying them for in your homelands. So no need to pack clothes, excessive clothes. And secondly, when you come to Canada, if you come from like very cheap countries, cheap in the sense that the cost of living, economically, the things are available at much cheaper price than in Canada. Try to bring as many useful things as possible, like medicines, right? Medicines here are extremely expensive. So if you could bring some medicines, unless obviously they are prescribed, and there are age criteria for that. So um, you could bring the medicines that suit you. You could bring eyeglasses. They are extremely important here in Canada. uh, just getting a pair of eyeglasses made can cost you as much as, let me tell you very precisely. Yeah, I did my market research. It was around 300 Canadian dollars. This includes the eye check test, the eyesight check test, plus the frame, plus glasses and whatnot. That's extremely expensive. I could get the glasses made in Pakistan for literally 10 Canadian dollars. Just compare it 10 to 300. I could get 30 eyeglasses made in the price that I would get made just one in Canada, in Pakistan. So, if your eyesight is weak, get a handful of eyeglasses, and they are delicate things, they break easily. So, I regret having brought only 2 pairs of eyeglasses. I should have brought at least six with me. But now I have given the order for eyeglasses, and I am getting them shipped from Pakistan. All right. And then what else should you bring with you? Obviously, all of your documents, attested documents, and if you have a driving history from another country, you have to get the driver's license, as well as the abstract from your driver license issuing authority, that your driver's license is genuine and that your experience counts. That would be required. Otherwise, you'd have to contact your consulate general here in Canada, and that would be expensive and time taking at the same time. All right, so job sorted, driver's license sorted, much of the packing material also sorted. Now, once you come to Canada, now the biggest thing here is finding the accommodation for rent. Without a credit history, without your previous history in Canada, you can have some tough time finding accommodation, but there is far more hearsay and nonsense spread on the social media than the situation actually is. uh, Many people are saying that newcomers are finding it very hard to find accommodation because landlords are not willing to to give their properties on rent to the newcomers because they don't have jobs or they don't have any history in Canada. That is true to some extent, but not extremely. It's not entirely like that. You will easily find landlords who are willing to give their properties on rent. It's just basically how well you portray yourself once you meet the landlord. It's just like an interview. If you're able to convince the employer that you have those skills and that you're a genuinely good person, then the employer hires you. Likewise, once you meet the landlord, they see you in person, they judge what kind of person you are, what kind of persona do you have, what kind of money have you brought, what do you do, even if you don't have a job, what's your family size, what community are you from, what religion are you from, what culture you belong to. All these factors matter a lot. So landlords, you will be able to find landlords who will easily give their properties to you on rent even if you are new to Canada. So don't be too much deluded or offset by this hearsay that newcomers are finding it extremely difficult to find accommodations here in Canada, right? Now, what should you do? I would suggest you come here, decide, first of all, you decide for yourself what city you want to land in. You could land in Toronto, you could land in Kitchener, Mississauga, Brampton, Calgary, Edmonton. Different cities have different costs of living, different taxes applied, everything is different. Do your market research, look for yourself, especially for your profession, the profession you belong to. Where are the most jobs located with respect to that profession? Let's say if we talk about construction or the oil and gas, I suppose Calgary is a hot destination for such professionals. Similarly, you would see for people in IT, I suppose Toronto is a very good destination. So do some market research, what profession you belong to, and accordingly, what city would be the best destination for you. Every person has different objectives, and accordingly there's no one set formula that I can apply on everyone. I cannot generalize. All cities have their own pros and cons to them, and the cost of living varies greatly. So do your market research. But whatever city you finalize, I would suggest you first to book an Airbnb for maybe 2 weeks, because the first week you'd be too tired, there'd be the jet lag and everything, but the second week you'd be able to find some accommodation, see some options for you, properties. You could approach the realtors and discuss your cases with them and see the options available for you. So you should be able to secure a good accommodation for yourself in your surroundings in the second week, if not in the first week, okay? And it's up to you. You could also get an Airbnb for 3 weeks or up to a month. But whatever, I understand Airbnbs are generally expensive, but spending that extra money upfront makes it worthwhile, because it gives you the leverage and position to look for the kind of accommodation that suits your taste and your particular criteria. All right. So I would suggest find some Airbnb in a place where which is close to the, or is located in the downtown, because it would have a very good network of buses and the commuting system would be very good and efficient. You'd save a lot of time using the public transport, especially in the initial days, because you won't have any cars with you. Might not have. Otherwise, some people just rent cars, and but I didn't. But every case is unique. So I would suggest get an Airbnb booked in the downtown, and then start looking for the properties as early as possible. Do visit the landlords and discuss with them. Be nice, discuss your scenario, and genuinely, you should have it in your heart and mind that you would pay the bills and the rent on time. And because obviously if you don't, for one, that is very wrong thing, and secondly, it would also in the long run affect your credit history. Let's say if the landlords pursue you, if you're not paying the rents, then that's not good for you. So as long as you're a genuine person, people can tell. So and you shouldn't have a very hard time finding a good accommodation for yourself. Now, what to rent is also a very important question. Options are basements, one bed basement, two bed basement, apartments, condos. What to go for? I'd suggest if you could afford a condo, that could be very good. Especially in a city like Edmonton, you could find condos extremely cheap. But in Toronto, condos could be very expensive. Um, but again, if you live in a condo, you don't have to do the snow shoveling, and then it's a very neat and nice place. There's a lot of viewability that you get from the balcony, and it provides you with a rich, modernistic, luxurious lifestyles feel, right? So condos are a good option, but we personally got a one bed basement, and we rented it out for 1,800 Canadian dollars, all utilities included, starting February 2023. and we signed a lease of 1 year for this one bed basement. It's good in a way and it's not so good in a way, but honestly speaking, now I have come to terms with it, and we'll see. Unless I find a very good job coming my way, I don't see moving away or moving out of this basement. We're pretty comfortable here, especially it's legal basement, so it has good sized windows. And when the basements are legal, they are constructed according to the set criteria that ensure the high standard of living. So everything is nicely placed here. All equipment, fixtures, facilities, they are there and well integrated into this one bed basement. But anyway, it's I suppose it's more than just one bed, because the landlord has also provided me with access to another room that I use to work from home. So you could say it's kind of a two-bed basement that I'm getting for 1,800 Canadian dollars, but all utilities included as well. Yes, it is a bit expensive, but then now especially the rents are going very, very high up. So it fits in that context in a way. So but the way for you as a newcomer to Canada, I suppose you just get an Airbnb booked before you land in Canada, and then start looking for the properties. And initially, I suggest you should try to go for the contracts where you have this ability to leave the property at 1 month's notice. Well, there is this option in the contract document, right? So do read it and try to go for that. Unless your landlord is too pushy, or he's very firm about this thing that the lease has to be of 1 year. So try to go for a month by month basis, or like 2 months basis. Okay, and then it's up to you if you want to rent out a one bed basement or a two-bed basement or whatever, but like try to be near the downtown town or in the downtown, because it would make commuting efficient and cost effective for you. So, accommodation covered, and then comes the prospects for jobs. Obviously, as I told you, you'd like to settle in the city where there is maximum availability of professions in your field. So, and try to start looking for jobs earlier, even before coming to Canada. And then once you come here, then do networking. WhatsApp groups play a very, very, very important role in this. Uh, Somehow you will get to find such WhatsApp groups. You could search for them on Facebook groups as well, on Google as well. Talk to people. They'd suggest you ask, especially ask people. Are there any WhatsApp groups relevant to my case? I'm a newcomer here. I'm an engineer, or I'm a doctor. I'm an IT specialist. Wherever I am looking for people with similar backgrounds or interests than me. Try to find people, connect with YouTubers, vloggers, everybody, as many people as you can, because the more people you reach, people you reach have experience. They have been living in this place. They have already dealt with, been there, done that, all what you are just about to do. So you could benefit from their experience rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, or learning it from your own mistakes, right? So do networking, do connections, and that will help you find job even if you could not manage to find one before coming to Canada. If you can find a remote job, by all means go for that. Don't underestimate remote jobs. They are a very, very good alternative to on-site jobs, because they help not only save a lot of time of in commuting, but also they help save you a lot of money and provide you with a kind of work-life balance that on-site jobs do not, or they cannot, right? So try to go for remote jobs or hybrid jobs, and there are plenty of options available for in every industry, remote and hybrid jobs. Do use LinkedIn, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster, and also visit the recruitment agencies. Discuss your case with them. Yes, these days jobs are a little fewer than they used to be before, for some reasons, weird reasons, I don't know, but for people who try hard enough, who have those job skills and who have their resume built nicely, and showcases their skills in the correct manner, in a manner that makes sense to the employers, then they don't have a very hard time finding jobs. Like me, I got proposed as many as 4 to 5 jobs in a matter of just 3 to 4 months. So that's a big thing, mashallah. And the job search is an ongoing process. Even if you find a job, you're always looking for a better opportunity, because there's no ceiling, there's no high end. You could get just any job, any, it could be nicer to any level. So it's an ongoing process. Even if you get employed, you just keep looking for jobs. Even I do, I try to spend at least half an hour every day looking for jobs, even though I am employed at this time. And then if you would like to upgrade your skills, get some diploma, some certifications, go for them by all means. Like I am about to start the process for professional engineering license as well. So likewise, you'd see what is relevant in your field. Okay, so you'd like to get the certifications as well, because the licenses, certifications, they are everywhere and in all places and about all industries and jobs in Canada. So you should, the more you get, the more weighty you can make your resume. I hope these pieces of advice will help you people when you are trying to come to Canada, or you're planning your trips, or you're just about to come to Canada. How did you find this video? What you agree to, what you are skeptical about, what more would you like to ask me? Do share your thoughts, opinions, your questions in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. And give this video a thumbs up, and do subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye.